you the full details that we have at this time of a Jaguar escape this morning and the death of some of our animals. I do need to share, working with the staff, they're still working every minute right now to work to care of the animals, to work on what they're doing with the animals, and this is their family. This is the people they care for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and so it is a tragedy when we lose an animal of any type, and we will give you the full report, and then we're going to answer a few questions at the end. Let me ask our Managing Director, our VP, Dr. Burks, to come up and give you some details.
Thank you, Ron. Good afternoon. My name is Kyle Burks, and I'm the Vice President Managing Director here for Audubon Zoo. I want to share some of the facts about the situation and how we are investigating and let you know the impact that it's had on our team. This morning at about 7:20, one of our staff saw that our 3-year-old male Jaguar Valerio was outside of his enclosure, and the zoo was closed at that time, and immediately he followed procedures, secured himself inside a building, and alerted the rest of the team. Our animal care, veterinary staff, and security went right into our planned actions for situations like this to make sure that staff is safe. The animal was then approached and sedated by our veterinary team and returned and secured in his night quarters. The situation was resolved by 8:15 a.m. When he was returned to the building where he lives. But while there were no human injuries, we did suffer the sad loss of 4 alpaca, 1 emu, and 1 fox that lived in nearby habitats. They were attacked and did not survive. Additionally, we have 3 other animals that are being cared for right now. They've got the best professional care out there. They're receiving 24/7 care, and we hope for their speedy recovery. The safety of our guests and our staff and our animals is our #1 priority, and we take this situation very seriously and are working to investigate everything that happened so that we can prevent anything like this from happening again. We're looking at every possible cause, and we will be able to provide you with more information once the investigation is completed. As I said, the zoo was closed at the time. Valerio, the male Jaguar, is safe in his night quarters, and I want to commend our animal staff, our veterinary team, and our security staff for following protocols perfectly. The situation was dealt with quickly. We perform drills for just these situations multiple times a year and have protocols in place. We also make sure throughout the year that everything about our animal enclosures is investigated and made safe, and we receive vigorous inspections from the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. Audubon Zoo was just reaccredited in April by that body, and we have been accredited member of the association since 1981. We've already alerted to them of this incident, and we'll be sharing the facts as we move forward. As Ron mentioned, this is a devastating loss for our team. We care for these animals every day, and so we close the zoo today to help our team mourn, to conduct our investigation, and we do plan on reopening tomorrow. I do want to in particular thank our animal care staff. This is a very difficult time for them, and I want to introduce now our Vice President and General Curator, Joel Hamilton, who can share with you what his team has done and how they're taking this. Joel.
Thank you, Kyle. As Mr. Foreman said earlier, this animal team cares very, very deeply for these entire collection here at the zoo. It's part of their family, and we are allowing them the opportunity to get past this unfortunate instance. And we actually have counselors coming in to help with grief counseling for the staff so that to help them get through this. And we will take other questions.
Yeah, I think we have time for a few questions if anybody has any. The team is investigating that now. Our primary concern in the moment was to care for the animal, get him secured, and then get him the other animals cared for. So part of the reason we remained closed today was so we could get in and investigate every aspect of it. No, it is not a new enclosure. Nothing like this incident has ever happened with us before, no.
There was a a jaguar getting out 15 years ago, maybe, put back in the enclosure pretty quickly. In the history of Audubon, at least the last 50 years, we've not had any incident of this. This is by far the biggest incident we've had, the biggest magnitude, the biggest tragedy we've had.
Have you ever had another animal kill another animal here?
I don't think so. I mean, if we want to go back into history, we have to go back a long ways. We're a 100-year-old institution. Certainly in the last 20, 30 years, I don't think that's actually took place.
You want to take that?
Yeah. The animals that were injured were alpacas, emu, which is a flightless bird from Australia, and some red foxes.
What about the three who died?
They were also the same species, or
One alpaca
foxes
and
and one alpaca.
So how many alpacas do you guys have total? Do you have any that were not injured?
No, we did not. They were all impacted.
We have time for one more question, guys. Can you tell us anything about Valerio, his personality or anything, what he's like?
He's a young male jaguar. He was doing what jaguars do. I mean, certainly his behavior wasn't out of the ordinary for that kind of an animal. And he's just a normal jaguar as far as we're concerned.
Was he trying to eat the other animals or was this a territorial thing?
I don't really have those answers at this point, but there was no consumption. It was probably more of a territorial situation, opportunity.
A lot of parents
Thank you.
would be upset about this and kind of worried about coming to the zoo again. What would you say to those parents?
Yeah, first of all, the zoo, it's been here for 100 years. During that time period, we've had over 100 million visitors, a billion a year, to the zoo. We've never had an incident like this before. So I think statistically, there's nothing to worry about the safety of coming to the zoo. I do want to say the jaguar, some people ask, we've literally have had thousands of people in the last 2 hours sending texts and emails in with condolences, what can we do to help? These animals belong to the public. They're part of nature. And so we have a responsibility to protect them. And so the public has a lot of empathy. We're not talking to you, sir. We're talking.
I'm not part of it?
No, we're answering your question. You're being rude.
So are you.
Okay, well, to answer your question, the zoo is a safe place to be, and there's no fear at all as far as the visitor. In over a 100-year period, we've never had an incident that create a problem for the public. Anyway, thank you very much for your questions. We appreciate it. We will be getting back to you shortly as we gather more information. Our staff right now, their time is being spent taking care of the animals, taking care of their enclosures, and once we have more facts, exactly how the animal got out, history of the animals, the animal care right now, we will get back to you as soon as we can and message completely. So thank you for coming, and we'll share that information with you later.
Can you make a comparison between